How's it going, guys? Winter Kills here, and welcome to a brand new locals feature match. Here we are in round 1 for the week. This is from April 15th, and there's only 3 rounds this week because I, like a bozo, as they say, forgot to hit record on, I think it was round 3. But I've luckily made up for that because yesterday I spent about 10 hours at my locals playing in 2 different tournaments. And not only did I record 4 rounds from each said tournament, I also recorded every match that I played with the Saturday Night Locals first-person POV stuff. So I think I had a buy round 1, so that's 7 matches there, 8 top-down features like you're watching now, and a first-place Locals Rika Avalon deck profile. That's 16 videos coming your way in the near future. So if you have not subscribed to the channel already and you want to see those videos going up, lots of variety on the features this week. I tried to pick some players that aren't typically on, playing some different decks. So if you want to get notified when those videos go up, please feel free to subscribe to the channel and make sure you have the notifications on so you get notified when those videos go live. And we'll see if our Swordsoul player will boldly go where many Swordsoul players have gone before, and that is into the Nibiru zone. And it looks like they are going to do just that. And it looks like no Nibiru to be found from our branded Despia player. And I've been pairing these, well, I haven't been pairing these 2 players up. The system has, but it's just funny because I end up putting them on the feature, and you'll also see them, I think, play off against each other in the coming weeks. But this matchup is a match that I'm particularly fond of because I really liked Swordsoul Despia format quite a bit, like right around or just before YCS Hartford 2022. And I really like that format, so it's kind of cool to see it play out here. Swordsoul really doesn't have any new support. Despia has gotten a ton of new support and continues to get new support, which is kind of crazy, especially since people wanted like Swordsoul to get hit for a time. But Despia just keeps getting better and better and better, and they keep getting OTS pack reprints like Alti, Albaz, Alti, Brand Infusion now, Starlight's out the wazoo, and I feel like Swordsoul's gotten a little left behind, although they are getting that, I think it's like the Apple Dragon, which is, I know, like a really, really cool card for the deck. But yeah, we'll see how this match plays out. We got Bestial, yeah, speaking of more support, Bestials, helping out the cause of the branded deck. More so as a small engine, right, with Lubellion, Sarnier, etc. We're going to see the Sarnier, though, speaking of, hit the board by banishing of a Ashuda, so they'll lose a bit of follow-up and pressure there just from that. And we're going to see the Xixing Longyun go ahead and banish it on summon, burning for 12, so that's 2,400 damage total. And we're going to, yeah, this is also a throwback, like Predaplant Despia. I mean, the last time Predaplant Despia was super popular was when it pretty much debuted at YCS Hartford last year. And there's Ambulo Melodies getting brought off the Instant Fusion, which is a card that I still don't know how has managed to live this long at 1, no less. Yeah, it's just crazy. It's just crazy that it's still legal. Not even for the sake of Kit being banned. It's just like, it's not a good card. It's not well designed, especially since they keep printing level 5 monsters in the extra deck that you don't need to be fusion summoned or whatever. They just can come out and get their effect right on special summon. It's just like asking to be abused. I don't know, that card should, I don't like it at 1. Like, put it to 3 or put it to 0. I hate getting sacked by instant fusion sometimes. I just feel like getting sacked by instant fusion. But I think they ended up chaining Brandon and Red there to dodge that Imperm, so the Ambulo Melodies search does end up going through. I think they grab the Bufo, and then they're going to go Battle Phase and attempt to swing in over the Chixiao here, since pretty much the impactful, I don't want to say the impactful effect of Qixing's been used, the Monster Banish, but Chixiao could be kind of an annoyance here, so just clearing it for free in the Battle Phase is kind of nice. And the only really impactful thing that Xixing Longyun is going to be able to banish in this matchup, I mean, you could argue he could have banished the Branded in red, so he doesn't have a chance to get that back off of, like, Retribution or a Tragedy, because I think Tragedy can reset them. But banishing, like, Branded Fusion, I know, is not bad, because, again, they have a hard time getting that back. And I know way back in the day, it used to be banishing Polymerization, so that Guardian Chimera could be targetable, was also a key thing to banish there. But Speaking of banish, Mirror Jade will banish Chi-Ching Longyun. It should not be banished face down. I think it looks like it's banished face down right now. That might be a little bit of a force of habit there from all the Kashtira stuff, banishing everything face down. And, yeah, speaking of banished face down, I don't know why I just randomly thought about this, but it's like, you ain't getting those cards back. That's one tough thing about things being banished face down. Unless you're Virtual World. Virtual World had it easy, man. There was one of the few decks that could really get back things that were banished face down, which is kind of funny. So we're going to see Despia normal summon the Keeper of Dragon Magic, discarding Bufolicula. And we're checking Imperm columns here, and I think a little bit of a goof up there. I think if this was a regional or something, definitely don't let that slide. I mean, I don't know. Like, if your opponent plays a card in a column, I don't really know what the official ruling even is. Think about this sometimes. Like, if you play a card and you don't take your hand off of it, and you move it to a like, does that count? Like, just because you initially place it somewhere, but your hand, because I know I know there's rulings about like taking your hand off of a card and committing to an action. Like, that's the like the sign that you've committed to an action per se, is that you've taken your hand off of the card. Like, if you were to summon a rank 4 in your extra deck, you put it on the field, you take your hand off of it, and then you go to grab it again and put it back in the extra. Like, I think that's something you can't do. So I don't know how that works there. Yeah, luckily we don't have any rule sharks at our locals, if that's how that kind of thing plays out. But again, at higher level events, I could totally understand that, because, you know, people should know those things. Try to remember those things. Although the Imperm column, man, I mean, it's why it's so funny when it happens, because it's just so easy to forget sometimes. So I don't blame anybody that's ever played anything in an Imperm column, myself included, or has had an opponent play something in an Imperm column only to have it pointed out by a spectator, and nobody ended up noticing during the game either. So we're going to see branded shenanigans kind of go off here into Lubellion, into Dragostapelia. Mirror Jade, of course, already being established, and we're getting that end phase. Well, at least attempting to go to end phase, and we're going to see Nibiru, the primal being. That's going to get negated by Mercurier. Clutch little Omni-Negate hand trap, especially when they got lost up, and they're going to go ahead and grab Branded Retribution to be set off of the Albion. And, yeah, I mean, they've got Mirror Jade, they got Dragostapelia, they got Retribution. And the Dragostapelia is like a double-edged sword. Not only are we negating effects, but we're also manipulating levels. Anything that has a Predator counter, I believe, or Predap counter, their level becomes 1 while Dragostapelia is up on the board. So that is going to mess quite a bit with the synchro strategy. That's the one thing about fusions, is oftentimes they don't have to worry about levels, tuners, matching levels like Xyz and synchro decks have to worry about. That's why it's definitely up there in the hierarchy of summoning mechanics, especially nowadays. So we're going to see him pass there. Retribution could probably prove to be a bit of a roadblock, but we're going to see him lead with Swordsoul Emergence. And I apologize if I sound a little weird. I have a little cold. So, trying to get through that. Looks like we got, yeah, they still got that Nibiru in hand, obviously. They got Longyun, they got Moyi, and Vishuda. Now, I feel like, you know, maybe you could have started with the Vishuda, but that's also kind of tough. I mean, no matter how you put it here, I feel like this is probably just a losing position for Swordsoul as they end up negating the Moyi with the branded Retribution. And they're going to return the Mirror Jade that's already used its effect. And again, they could use Longyun here, discarding the Vishuda. And that leaves them with the Vishuda bounce, because the Longyun effect will activate in hand to summon the token. So the token will come out with the Longyun if this is not negated in the hand, giving the opportunity to summon the Vishuda and, well, you know, to get the Vishuda in the grave with the token on board. So, and they're just going to go ahead and brand in red, actually, because that's probably just going to be better. They're going to target Albaz in the grave. And they could just go for Guardian Chimera here by using the Lubellion and the Keeper of Dragon Magic. And the Albaz that'll be in hand. And that could pop both token and the Longyun. And they're going to chain Blackout, and they're going to target Longyun. So they're going to go ahead and target Dragostapelia and Lubellion, not giving up the fight just yet. So now this will make it so they won't be able to... Well, actually, I don't even think they can activate the... Or no. They can activate things in response to a fusion spell, but not in response to a fusion summon. I think that's how it works. Same reason why you can, like, chain D-Barrier to Branded Fusion while Lost is up. You're still activating in something in response to a fusion spell, even though you're not attempting to negate the activation of an effect that will allow you to fusion. You are just simply activating card in response. But if Guardian Chimera hit the board, it was Chainlink 1. Nothing could be activated by the opponent in response as Chainlink 2. So that will actually... That Blackout is going to come in kind of clutch there by... turning off would have been a potential fusion play, and they're just going to opt just to add back Albaz. Retribution's going to grab back Branded Fusion, and I mean, this is really nothing else that can be done right now. The Vishuda Engrave that could have been used is not worth using, because I mean, what are you going to do? Give him back Loss, give him back the Keeper of Dragon Magic, right? Give him an extra body, an extra search. I mean, maybe bouncing the Keeper of Dragon Magic back would have been fine, because it's like an extra body that's off the field, and they already have access to Branded Fusion anyways. Hard to tell, but they are just going to go Branded Fusion, dump Albaz, dump Dark Magician, and they're going to go for Lubellion. Lubellion effect, and Branded Loss. So, Lubellion 1, Loss 2. They'll grab Albion, the Shrouded Dragon. And they're going to discard Albion. Which actually, I don't know, like, since it's cost to discard, shouldn't you discard first before searching off the Lost? I'm not entirely sure there, but either way, they're going to go into Albion now, and then they're going to go ahead and... So, Lubellion into Albion, and then they're going to go into the Dragoon here, using the Albion, extra deck Albion, and the Dark Magician. And I think they are at 7,800, and they're going to normal summon Cartesia, yeah. So, I mean, like... Yeah, it was probably still game even if you bounce the Vishuda back. Especially if he was on like just a Nibiru in hand and nothing else really. So we're into a game 2 situation. Reminder to check out Imperium Duelist at the link down in the description anytime you guys shop and check out, well, not the link, but the discount code that I have in the description. Also a link to their site. If you guys use that discount code WinnerKills 10 off at checkout to save 10% off your entire order, you'll save 10% and you'll support the channel in the process. They got amazing products, you know, sleeves, playmats, deck boxes, binders, and more. Definitely check them out. Been using their stuff for years now and can definitely vouch for it. So if you were a little hesitant on trying out, definitely give it a shot. So we're gonna see Swordsoul go first this game. Kind of a tragic opening. Emergence, one of the few good Ash targets in Swordsoul, or against Swordsoul anyways. And it ends up actually mattering here. Well, that's usually the telltale sign, though. I mean, that's always been the telltale sign, is like, if Swordsoul opens with Emergence, if they open with Ecclesia, like, that's going to be the time to use Ash, because the deck really doesn't give you a good time to Ash outside of that. I mean, outside, like, what are you going to Ash? A Moyi draw? Like, that just does not feel good in the slightest. And, they're going to start with Fenrir. So they're playing a very, very small cashier package. Just 3 Fenrir, I assume. They're going to flip up the Rivalry of the Warlords, which I think is a little early, honestly, because now they just have the opportunity to go battle phase and just attack in and then use Fenrir to banish the face-up rivalry. So, I mean, yeah, they are forced to lose their battle phase here, but now they've just lost one of the most important assets they had. I think maybe the play, and maybe hindsight's 2020, but I think maybe the play is like let him commit Branded Fusion and then just chain Rivalry to that, because that way you make them lose their best card, because there is no psychic monster that they can bring out. So the Branded Fusion is just most certainly going to fizzle without effect. And even then, if you like let him normal summon Keeper of Dragon Magic, right? Let him discard to search. Let him commit more cards to the field, right? Let him hurt his follow-up a little bit more. Let him play into the rivalry. Because assuming that rivalry is still set right now, right? They're just playing out their turn as is. And I think Keeper of Dragon Magic is a spellcaster. So, I mean, well, the tough thing is, though, I guess if you let them play out their turn longer, then that might make things a little weird. I mean, so long as they don't have a dragon on field just yet. Because I believe all of the big guys in the extra deck are dragons or worms. So, yeah, right now, if they were to play it, if they were to flip up the rivalry right now, yeah, they would have to choose between Spellcaster or Psychic. And again, I don't think they have anything of that in the extra deck. Unless Dragoon is a Spellcaster, but they need very specific things to fusion for that. So that might have been tough. And then the Judgment on the Branded Fusion. Losing extremely hard to the Retribution add back. I had this happen to me on stream the other day where I negated the activation for Branded Fusion. They added it back, played it again, and had to negate it again. Lucky they didn't have another copy. But yeah, that is going to do it. We're going to see Branded Despia take it 2-0 there over Swordsoul. Last but not least, a huge shout out goes to our current Divine level channel members who are Misfit 88, Cyber, Cadillacs 84, and Pony Stark. Thank you guys so much as always for showing me kind and very generous support of the channel.